57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Holy technical difficulties, Batman. We have got things figured out for the most part. As you can see there in the little countdown, I was working on some camera stuff and some other things. Wanted to kind of show you what we're doing. Got everything kind of figured out for the most part. Everything else we'll tweak as we go. But we're up, we're live, and we got plenty to talk about. Well, you know the game we're going to kill here today. So, I don't think I really need to get into it. I could cut a whole promo and do the whole thing, but it's pretty simple, man. It's all about NCAA footy football, and we're going to kill the Big Ten championship game, and we're going to get into the rankings and the seedings and the this and the that and the other things, and oh, man, it's going to be fun. Plus, we got NFL, we got Pick'ems, fantasy moment from Moosey Moose. Oh, my gosh. How the hell are we going to fit all this in here? I don't know, but just buckle up and stay tuned. We'll see how we do. So, without further ado, let's do the do we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is your host, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we are back here for another edition of DSR2 live on this Wednesday here in December. It's a little chilly outside, but it's all right because why? It's December. Get used to it. We got lots here to talk about. As we said, we got the entire NCAA football, the conference championships and breakdown on here. We'll talk about that. We got it again, especially the Big Ten champion. That's right, your Big Ten 2021 Big Ten champions, the Michigan Wolverines. And they're going to the college football playoffs, and we'll get into that. And yes, I will anger Sparty fans on there because, because it's fun.
Yeah, that is Moose's main mission
I've
in
been
life.
taking crap since 2008 on this one, and guess what? Now I get to come back with a little bit of eat some crow, baby. And we got that to talk about. We got NFL action to talk about. Bill Belichick is a bad man.
Well, that is a take.
Yes, just when you thought they were out, they come back from the dead.
Well, it's to me, it's one of those. You have a brass ring, and you can reach for that sucker, or you could fall into shitter. And I just feel like the rest of the division is had the opportunities, has the talent, and has not done it. And I'm sorry. Belichick is not a genius because they handed off the ball for every fucking play. I'm sorry. That's not genius. In fact, it's quite the opposite. You know what? I've seen Navy play.
It's not fun.
It sucks.
Yes.
It's boring.
Yes.
It's shitty, and you can't win with it consistently.
No, they can't. But the problem is, again, Buffalo is really getting bad.
Once
They've
again,
been the most disappointing team.
Oh my god, the whole dude. What you KC ain't been disappointing?
Yes. Well, again, they seem to have brightened it up a little bit.
But still, come on.
But Buffalo, I mean, again, we had expectations. Like Buffalo was like, all right, this is it, man. They're gonna win the division again, and this is a team under and
it's.
Boop.
Yeah,
so we'll get into that.
Sad.
Yes, and our own Detroit Lions won a game. Well, you know.
Okay.
Maybe Mike Zimmer lost the game for Minnesota.
Well, this is the thing. When you do your pick'ems, you can't account for the emotional, uplifting kind of thing that can happen in your community when there's a crazy tragedy that you cannot predict.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to mix that in with the obvious Zimmer take, because that's just the obvious on the field stuff here. But we talk about the intangibles a lot here on the show.
This was a huge intangible.
So I
the
don't,
whole state.
I don't want to downplay the intangibles when they super obvious were
because
part of this
we saw the intangibles definitely was Saturday night.
Yeah, without a doubt, it carried on throughout the entire weekend, and it's it's just part of the process, right? Like, it's only the beginning of the grieving process and everything that goes on. If you guys don't know, you've been under a rock somewhere. You know, we had the school shooting here in Oxford, which is not far away. We talked about it before, Moose. You've had, you know, your daughters play travel ball and have not been, you know, they have not been in contact there, but you do know somebody that.
Yes, I do know somebody that's has a child there, and that.
As well as I in my day job, there's quite a few actually parents of Oxford schools, so it's not far from us, you know, obviously, so you can see how it resonated with the community, and you know how tragedy always kind of galvanizes, it feels like, and that's an unfortunate positive side effect, I guess, because you don't want to go through that to have that, but it is a positive side effect, and it definitely played out in our local sports teams this weekend, especially when you start talking about a football player who did what he did and on the team. And you know, I'll let you guys get into the articles. We're not gonna do all of that.
Yeah,
we want to try to keep it up.
Yes.
But you know, just the whole thing, you could see it in the way everybody kind of did what they did and put it on the line, and everybody just seemed inspired more so than I've seen lately, and that you can't account for that. And so that aspect of being said, we're gonna break down the fucking game and the silliness, and we'll get into Zimmer and all that. But yeah, that is a powerful thing, and I just kind of want to put that out there because we talk about the intangibles here and things that you can't really, the metrics you can't quantify in any kind of way, shape, or form. They're not on a sheet anywhere. There's no way to even, it's just a feeling. And so like, this is part of that. Like, you know, you just never know how that's gonna, you know, how people are gonna react to those kinds of things. And here in the community, everybody reacted in a real positive way. And I just thought it was on display in our sports teams this weekend.
Yes.
And so that's why I bring it up. So we don't want to get down in the dumps. We're here all about happy, fun stuff. But gosh, man, like Minnesota, like they just don't want anything. Like they don't want nice things. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just that's just some of the most boneheaded shit I've seen out of whatever. Did we see a lot of boneheaded shit here because we're in Detroit? But I'm not used to seeing it out of Minnesota per se, like that. But all that being said, they're kind of falling in line where I thought they would be when we did our stupid preseason. We don't know shit predictions. I just didn't feel that anybody in this division was anywhere near Green Bay. No,
and we said that on it. We said that over and over and over again with it, and they've pretty much proved it. I mean, again, and people are going to say, well, you know what, you can't blame Kirk Cousins because dude balled out. But the problem is that defense, basically, when it came down to it, they just...
Well, and it is one of those things too. But I mean, Cousins was dealing late. I mean, they were.
Yeah. The first half they did nothing.
Yeah, they had to come back to get the lead.
And of course, you know they couldn't cover. We couldn't cover Justin Jefferson.
Right.
Then again, this is really nobody can really.
And now what are the Vikings fans? Where are you? You can hit me up in the text. What are you gonna do now? Thielen's out.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do this week? Shit the bed some more.
You're 5-7. You're not making the playoffs.
Yeah, yep. Get the diapers out, man.
Yeah. Thielen's out. Cook is iffy for tomorrow night.
Yeah. I mean, that's a short turnaround. Nobody there. You're in trouble.
Zimmer's toast.
He's got to be.
He's got to be toast.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like he's been on the cusp for a while. What do you got going on over there? Is it disco time at the fucking Moose Lounge?
I thought down there, but down there. You know what's the winner? I mean, obviously, we'll make fun of golf on it, but dude, they showed like an Instagram video with his girlfriend. Damn.
Oh, well, yeah, he's a rich quarterback. Of course.
Quarterback.
Have you ever seen a rich quarterback with an ugly girlfriend?
Well, yeah.
Who?
Kurt Warner.
Yeah, but he wasn't a rich quarterback when he met her. What are you talking about? Okay. Go see the movie.
But you didn't upgrade.
Go see the movie Christmas Day.
I'm not going to go see that movie.
See the movie on Christmas Day.
Well, when you become successful, you upgrade.
No, you don't upgrade because those are the gold diggers. You keep the one you know that's not going to rob you because she was there when you weren't worth nothing. What is wrong with you? How do you not know this? Look at every rock star on the face of the planet. Yeah, they bang some hot ass like trailer or whatever along the way, but no, dude, their wifey's at home. They're all just regular chicks. You know
Yes.
why? Because those dudes were broke, and someone had to pay the effing bills. And so, yeah, they're smart enough to stay with the women who backed them when they were nothing.
And there is something to say about, again, a few quarterbacks that actually marry their high school sweethearts.
But when you are a rich when you're born a rich quarterback, I'm sorry. Trevor Lawrence was gifted a beautiful girlfriend the moment he dropped from his mommy's vagina.
with that glorious hair.
He came out with that full head of hair, just the way it is. Right now.
Perfect.
Perfect the way it is.
Just on there.
And he was chucking balls like right out the gate. He didn't even crawl, he walked. And that's what I'm saying though. He had that advantage. That's gonna be there. Kurt Warner, he was like
bagging groceries.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't he like work at a grocery store or something? And then like, I don't know, I'll play in the CFL or something, arena ball.
Yeah, arena bowl.
And then
it wasn't even CFL.
Yeah, and then he ended up on the Rams somehow. I mean, what? So, dude, I give it to him, man. He's one of the baddest dudes ever to play in the league. And I give it to him too. He stayed with what got him there.
Yes.
And his wife that got him there. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Those are rarities in this life. But no, these guys are all gifted. This is what happens when you're a great rich quarterback.
Yes. Ask Tom Brady that.
Yes. And who was Tom Brady before?
Nobody.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, now he's got Giselle Bundchen, one of the hottest women on the planet.
Who's making more money? Who's worth more than he is?
Right.
And he's worth ungodly amounts of money, but she's like even richer.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
All right, what deal with the devil did he make?
Oh, who knows? There was something there because
there was something there.
That is
he's definitely facing eternal damnation.
Okay, just think about it from a logical standpoint. And we're going to use a Michigan phrase. Who's got it better than Brady?
Nobody.
I mean, look at everybody that walks the earth and think of all the scenarios, the dream scenarios in your mind that you think of all these people doing all these great things throughout the history of mankind. Who's had it better than Brady?
Nobody.
Fucking nobody, dude. Nobody. How does he not make a deal with the devil is my point. I don't even believe in the devil. Damn it. And I think he made a deal with him.
Well, he made a deal with it. You know what it is? He's going to be in like upper management too. He's going to have the corner,
he's got the corner office
with the air conditioning.
Yeah. I mean,
you think he's going to be in the pits of hell? No.
Because a guy who had he's just an average looking bloke that wasn't all that athletic, who just kind of ended up on a team in the Midwest. And now all of a sudden he's like GQ.
Yes.
Everything, money falling out of his pockets every time he sneezes. Like anything he could ever want and ask for and think, and all he has to do, I don't know, just play the game he's been playing since he was a kid.
Yes.
He's outside being a kid.
Well, you know who's going to be now persona non grata, especially in Tampa? Antonio Brown for the fake fake SIM card.
Well,
he violated was it a COVID protocol?
Oh, dude,
we know what protocol he violated. Yeah, it was fake.
Yeah, he violated the moral protocol. What are you talking about?
He may be going to jail.
I mean, forget the COVID protocol, just the moral protocol.
I gave you a chance.
What?
I gave you a second chance, and this is what you do to me. You stab me in the back.
No. He went and got vaccinated right away. If you were going to get it anyway, if you got caught, why didn't you just get it from the beginning, you dumb ass son of a bitch? You caved instantly and went and got vaccinated. Why did you not just do it? Why did you fork out whatever? Would you fork out thousands of dollars for that stupid ass card when you could have went and got one for free?
Right.
You dumb son of a bitch, and then not put your friends, supposed friends, at risk, co-workers, people around you at risk, people, your family, anybody that comes in contact with your dumb ass? Because you make great decisions. I can trust that you're not going to do something stupid and put yourself at risk, right? Because you make all these great decisions at every fucking turn. I mean, give me a break. The guy's a goddamn joke. He's a walking Jerry Springer episode.
Oh, God, yes. I mean, we all know because he was throwing, remember the bag of candy in the gummy dicks?
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck? Eat a bag of dicks. Yeah, dude, you take some of your own advice, asshole.
And don't tell me that wasn't premeditated. That was so planned out.
Oh yeah,
you have to order from Amazon a bag of peanuts.
That's the most premeditated slam I've ever heard in my life. You can't just. I mean, if he just ran out with "eat a bag of dicks," fine. Nah, dude. He went online, punched in his credit card, busted out his PayPal, put it in the FedEx, got it shipped to his freaking house, opened the bitch up, went online, said, he, I'm a funny motherfucker, got hammered, and then acted a fool, and then threw the bag of dicks out. That's the most premeditated thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Are you kidding me?
But it was pretty funny.
Oh, goddamn, it was hilarious. It's damn hilarious. What are you talking about? But he's not on Crank Yankers.
No. But
Jesus Christ.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, our own Lions win the game on there.
Whoa. Now you're just jacking up your number one pick. No, I'm just kidding. We're not.
No, they're still got the number one pick.
I know. We're not gonna go there. I was just being silly. That's local radio shit you hear. It's like, come on, shut up.
Shut up. They're not winning a game the rest of the year.
No, that was purely driven by, we'll just say the number 42.
Yes.
We'll just leave it at that.
Higher powers on there, which, again, we're not saying who, but.
Yeah, there was definitely some emotional, uplifting things happening there to make that happen.
Yep. So we got that, and especially the Michigan game on Saturday night there, and again, wearing the patch and everything with it, and of course, lo and behold, scoring 42 points.
Yeah. How about that?
And the other team scored 42, and for 3 for the other team. I mean, it's like the damn defense, like, no, you ain't scoring anymore. The hell with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can't we say realistically is let's just realign the damn Big Ten because the West has no shot except for once every 6 years.
Oh, what I know. I for me, especially with all the rapid changes and how the NCAA football thing, it's just the whole thing's got to be redone. You can't make all these crazy changes and then like try to leave like this like linear bullshit there. Like all that's got to change now.
Yes.
When it was the Big Ten, we got 14 teams in the conference now. We've got to shift things around. Teams are all over the place. You still got rogue Notre Dame out there yet.
Right.
Like, and then we're doing all this crazy playoff. The expansion's coming. We talked about it, guys. Don't fall for the bullshit. It's not happening right now. It ain't happening next year. Everybody's like, we'll have it in a year. No.
3 years.
I'm telling you.
Was it
2024?
Is it after the 2024 season or after the 2023 season?
I think it's after 2023. I think
so. We got 2 more years of 4 teams in there, and then they will expand out to 12 with a new TV deal. And trust me, these programs out there, you thought they get tons of money now?
It's going to be, the contracts are going to be record breaking.
Oh yeah,
without a doubt.
The Big Ten alone, each school is going to start getting $100 million.
I want to tell you something right here, right now. The what you call it, the only thing that is viable from an advertising standpoint is live programming.
Right. Because
of the invent of the internet and streaming and binge watching and on demand and all that going on, advertising dollars don't go barely anywhere with a syndicated programming. Right. It just really doesn't. If you are doing live programming, it's top dollar. And sports is 97% of your live programming is sports.
Right.
I mean, what else do you really get that's live? Like award shows?
And those are going down the tube.
Talk shows at night.
Yeah. Once a year, you got a live stupid musical broadcast on NBC.
Right. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, probably 96% is sports.
Right.
So, the advertising dollars are all funneled through sports. And the NFL's king right now.
Right.
And football's king right now. And college football is right there. And they're gonna hammer out these deals, and it's gonna be record-breaking deals, and you guys are all gonna get bent out of shape because guess what? Your collegiate athlete, your student athlete is now a fucking pro.
Right.
They work in a semi-pro development league for the NFL. And that all starts when those big-ass contracts come through the fucking door when this thing gets expanded in 2024.
Right.
And I rhymed, and I didn't even fucking mean to.
Yes. Well, I agree on there. And really, you saw the progression of it, the advent of the creation when the Big Ten Network started like a decade ago. You started seeing it. We're getting these schools were getting $30 million a year.
They're getting their own networks.
Now they're getting $50 million a year. Now the next TV contract, they're going to get $100 million a year. That's just from the Big Ten Network. That's not including what Fox and ESPN are going to get. Trust me, Fox is going to go hot and heavy over the NCAA football.
Yep. When you start thinking about live...
Because they don't have basketball. They don't have hockey on it. Right. They got football, NFL, baseball, and they're going after college
football.
Because look at the numbers on Fox did this year with Michigan. And again, college football is better when Michigan is better.
Well, and
again, either you're going to love them or you're going to hate them.
I got news for you too. All the MAC and all the WAC and all that shit, you're going to see more of them too.
Right.
And because there's money in that. Right. Yeah, there's money in that. Whether you want to believe it or not, there is advertising dollars in that because it's all live programming. Nobody DVRs their fucking favorite team game and watches it, next Thursday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody DVRs 17 weeks of the NFL season and then sits down on a Friday night and watches the whole fucking thing.
Right.
It doesn't happen like
live.
that. It is live. You watch it when it's happening, and there is no skipping through the commercials and getting away from all that stuff. The advertisers actually get your eyes.
Right.
And and I'm telling you, all these sports, it's the same thing. Why do you think there's so many sports channels? How come when you go on your radio dial and you go to anything that's talk radio, it's almost all sports. Right. You've got your local news, and you'll have the right and the left side, and then the rest of it's going to be sports. And then your FM dial is going to be whatever music your town does, right? I mean, that's 90. And then even sports made it to the FM dial in most markets. So it's everywhere because it's a live program. That's why radio doesn't lose its luster because it's live. You're listening to it now.
Right.
Nobody records their favorite DJ during the day and then listens to them at night. They turn it on when they're in the car. They turn it on when they're at work. And it's there in their ears. They have their ears.
Right.
So there's always there's money that the radio market makes all their money off that advertising. And
absolutely.
They do well because they get the people.
And they're going to do fine on it because with the advent of obviously the smartphones and everything out there, now you got all these apps, and again, the companies that own all the radios, they have their own app. And it's like, guess what? Even though you're outside the range of getting your game on there, boom, click on the app and you plug it in your car and you're driving, and guess what? You can basically go from here to Florida and listen to your local sports station.
Absolutely. And the same thing too on the flip is they're streaming all these games on them apps too.
Yes.
I mean, how many NFL games are streamed every week?
Oh yeah.
They're just on my phone. Like I just get up and there's like, there's like 3 of them I can pick from in the early set, and or 2 in the early set and 3 in the late set. I get all the primetime games. It's just on my phone.
Right. Wow, I can watch a game right on my phone, an NFL game on my phone.
Right now.
There, boom.
So like
I can watch college football on my phone.
And we're doing that. So like and then we're not skipping through commercials because you don't have that option.
No,
it's a live thing. So the advertising dollars are there. College is going to be all over it. They green-lighted this name and likeness. We talked about it, Moose. It was Pandora's box. I had no problem with green-lighting it. I had no problem with opening it up. I knew what it was. Y'all are acting like this is something you should, like, what do you mean? Oh, now they're going to do this? Yeah. Yes. Yes, 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 and yes. They're going to get huge contracts for TV deals. They're going to get big money. Students are going to get paid a freaking salary, an annual salary. Coaches' contracts are going to continue to go up. This $9.5 million a year for an under 500 coach that hasn't coached 50 games is not. That ain't going to be a
2
thing.
years. That'll be a bargain.
That'll be a blink. Yeah, I mean it's
just
nothing.
like the whole thing when we said about Stafford getting that huge contract.
Right.
Oh my God, dude.
Wait 5 minutes.
Within a year, he was middle of the road.
I mean, wait 5 minutes, and he won't be.
No.
I mean, it's crazy. These TV contracts, the advertising dollars are driving this through. How do you think those NBA players got all that money? ESPN sold out everything to throw all their money at the NBA. And then all of a sudden, dudes you didn't even know were getting bazillion-dollar contracts. Like, how did this... Who is this guy?
Yes.
Let alone, why did he get this kind of money?
25 million a year? He's a scrub.
And that shit was happening because they spent the money that was given to them.
Well, what do you expect them? They can't.
Yeah, you
You
don't
got to
just
spend
sit-
it.
Yeah,
You got again with a salary cap under. You got you got your ceiling, but you also got a floor too.
Yeah.
You have to spend a certain amount. Trust me, if the Cincinnati Bengals could get away with not spending the minimum under,
Right,
they would
yeah.
because they're cheap fucks. Trust me, they are.
Yep.
They are the cheapest damn team in the league under, but they have to spend at least a minimum of their. They have a floor, and they have to exceed that.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, you're right. As far as realigning the league and all that stuff, they need to get to it. And that was kind of, we got on a tangent there, but it's all related. I mean,
Yes.
This money is what's going to change. So not only do they have to realign, the Big Ten, but all the other conferences too.
Well, yeah, because you're going to have to do the SEC because again, when Texas and Oklahoma get there, and on it with LSU on it, they're going to have to do it because all it is really in the East is Georgia and Florida.
Well, they're going to do like a super league basically with all these it's basically going to be a league, and each conference is going to be like your divisions and your conferences in like in an NFL kind of scheme or schematic. So you're going to see the same kind of thing.
I mean, it's the money's.
They gotta realign
when you have
everything.
a head coach at Notre Dame whose team has a shot to get to the playoffs, bolts right away and said, "Screw it, I'm going to LSU.
Right.
I have a team that we can make to the playoffs, but I'm not going to win there.
Right.
I have to go someplace where again." The academics are not as strong. Notre Dame's obviously under. I can go to LSU, where basically is if you can make an X there by your name, you're in the school.
Right.
You're accepted.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
They say what 720 under basically is the minimum under. I think at LSU it's like a 610.
Yeah.
You don't even need to spell your name right
That's a 319.
on there. So yeah, don't tell me about that on there. And again, Notre Dame's going to have to basically is they're the last of the dying breed of the independents. They're going to have to join a conference
Yep.
under because they're going to get froze out.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's what they got to realize here, that they got to see the writing on the wall, that it's fine and dandy now if you want to do this for a couple more years, but once these contracts can change and they can expand the playoffs, everybo's going to be jumping on those conference. It's going to be realigned. So everything that you know about college, if you're 50 plus, everything you know or knew or loved about college football when you were a young man or woman is gone. If very little of it is here now, but in 2 years, 3 years, by the time they start rolling through this thing, so it takes a couple of years to get it going, and then it will say a couple of years to really kind of master the way it is, then you're gonna have these problems. And they really need to deal with this committee, because the way they rank this stuff and how this committee works, it's the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
Oh God, yes.
I
they don't even watch the game.
I know, it doesn't make any sense. They just kind of like look at things and say stuff, and it's dumb. I don't know how you steamroll, Ohio State, Iowa, you're at 2, you win, and you go nowhere. I don't know how a team from 3 leapfrogs. I just, the way they had it aligned going in, it feels, even before those games, the conference games, or even the last games of the seasons.
Because Bama, the last 2 games of the season, just scraped by Auburn. They needed 4 overtimes in Auburn, and they just squeaked by Arkansas. But yet they have this great game against Bama, and they leapfrog everybody.
So I just see, it just blows me away, because I just don't see where it felt like you could go back to the last 2 games of the season and say they've already kind of made up their mind who they're going to put in there because of the way they positioned everybody. Just even then,
right?
You kind of knew that unless Cincinnati really did something to shit the bed, they positioned them to be in for sure. So, and so other people that were out looking in, people are like, well, why? And it's like, well, they've positioned them for this,
Right.
and you knew. So yeah, it wasn't surprising to me that they made Bama 1. It's just, it still doesn't make sense to me.
Well, again,
per se.
Bama 1, but
I don't hate it.
No,
but I just don't.
And the chicken
I don't
shit
get
argument, though, too. They don't want a rematch between Bama and Georgia.
Well, I think there's truth to that.
Oh, they even admitted there was truth to it.
And that's the problem with
That's
me.
the hypocrisy. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what? We don't want to. We're tired of seeing an SEC bullshit out there. You know
Right.
what? Georgia should have fell to 4 because they crapped the bed against Bama.
Right. Yep.
Crapped the bed.
Yep.
Guess what? You lost under Michigan. Again, Michigan gets really kind of punished on. We should be playing Cincinnati.
Yep.
Nah, again, we'll see what happens on there because again, Kirby Smart pulled Kirby Smart again with it on there in the conference championship there with it. But yeah, Michigan goes out there and dominates Ohio State. Yes,
Right.
we moved it 2 and just manhandles Iowa.
Right.
I mean, again, we win 42-3, and we don't even move up. Iowa's a good team. Iowa's beat some really good. Iowa beat Penn State earlier this year. I mean,
Right.
they've won some good games in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we manhandle them,
Yep.
destroy them, and
Nothing.
we get to again. Georgia craps the bed, and they only move down to 3. They should be 4.
Right.
Sorry, Bama, you guys got to play each other again.
Right.
Because you know what? We don't want to see an all SEC championship game.
Sure.
Tough with it. Deal with it. On it. Again, I don't have. I mean, Bama, the way Bama did on it. Well, that's fine. We got to win. We're gonna have to. We're gonna just have to win their games. If Michigan's got this, you
Sure.
know what? If they're gonna win that national title, fine. You know what? Then if they beat Georgia and they somehow pull again, the kicker is if they can beat Georgia in the Orange Bowl and Bama, obviously they'll beat probably Cincinnati in that.
All right.
That championship game is in Indiana.
Right.
It's in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
That's going to be a freaking home game for Michigan.
Yeah.
Trust me. Guess what, Bama fans? Michigan fans have a lot of freaking money, and we haven't spent it for 17 fucking years.
Yeah. Right.
Guess what? We're coming in. If we beat Georgia, we're going to that game, and you ain't going to stop us.
Well, to me,
At least the fan base.
when you
wise.
start having that conversation, to me, it's just the Bama bias.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they just wanted to put Bama in the championship game.
Yes.
So they positioned them to be in the championship game, and that's what bothers me about.
It's still not a great Bama team. I mean, they just had a good game plan.
No, but they positioned them to be in the championship.
Oh, of course.
They put them against the weakest possible opponent in there.
course.
The way they set up Cincinnati to be in there, and in the way they put Al, dude, this is if you're gonna have a conspiracy theory, here it is. Cincinnati should have probably been on the outside looking in, not the inside looking out. They positioned them in far enough that unless they really crap the bed, because you weren't going to bump them out. And then you set up Alabama to be in a situation where now you can do this. As long as they win this game, you can do this.
Well,
Not that it's
Cincinnati got in. I mean, again, yes, they won their bowl, their conference champion. But you know what they got in twice? Because Oklahoma State crapped the bed in against Baylor.
But you're not listening to what I'm saying, Moose. I'm talking about the rankings prior to the
Oh
championship.
yeah, they were
games.
close enough on there to basically. If Oklahoma
This is a
craps the bed-
conspiracy. A conspiracy doesn't start on day one. It doesn't start on the last day. It starts on the first day, and it's a process that goes on. This is a conspiracy, is what I'm trying to tell you, is that they positioned Cincinnati in looking out when they should have been out looking in long before you got to their championship
Well, you
games.
you definitely say
And
that.
then when that's a setup.
And again, it does go with the setup and the conspiracy because again, who controls the SEC network? ESPN, the mothership. Who has the playoffs? ESPN, the mothership. Plain and simple. They're going to want their product in there. They don't want Bama to get. They don't want Georgia to get knocked out and having Notre Dame in because then they don't
Right.
have the full. They don't get to control the narrative.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, they wanted Ohio State in there, and the problem is
Michigan-
because Ohio State fans thought they were like, oh, we're going to book our hotel rooms and we're going to get and on there. And guess what?
Yeah.
They came into Michigan first time in when we had a
Right.
good team, and they came and we bombed them.
Right.
And don't give me this crap out. Oh, you didn't blow it. You didn't dominate us. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Did you watch the game?
Right.
Dude, that second half, Michigan basically stepped on their throat and twisted. They were doing the Bruce Lee jump up in the ground, jump on the throat, and do that twist and do that scream. Ah! And it's all in slow motion. He's like, and he gets all sad as he killed the guy.
If you're just looking at the scoreboard and didn't watch the game, you can't comment.
No, because the score doesn't even dictate how
No.
much Michigan dominated.
Right.
Dude, that game against Ohio State, they had the ball 5 times in the second half, and they scored on the first 4 touchdowns. The other one was victory mode. Take the knee.
Right.
Because they would have scored again.
Yeah.
You couldn't stop them.
Yep.
And again, Iowa did everything they could, and they couldn't stop them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically, Michigan says, fine, boom. Again, they do this double pass on there to Donovan Edwards, and he throws a dime.
I know.
And the guy doesn't even break stride. Just,
Yep.
touchdown. And then Blake Corum goes out there, breaks one, boom, 67 yards, touchdown.
Yep.
I was like, what the hell happened? It's freaking 14-0. You know, and again, they weren't coming back from that. No. They tried. They couldn't do it.
They're not built
like that.
No, they're not built that way.
They're built, if it's tight, it's tight, it's tight. Oh, crap. And all of a sudden, Michigan in the second half came out and said, you know what? We're going to just run it right down your throats.
Yeah.
And they couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
And we stopped them. I mean, their quarterbacks are terrible.
Well,
I mean, if I'm like the quarterback, somebody leaving on there or whatever, dude, I'm going to I'd call up Iowa, dude, because Iowa needs a quarterback.
well, if you're sleeping on Michigan's defense, shame on you too.
Right.
Let's just be real about it.
And again, all these people, well, their defense, dude, we have the best defensive end tandem in the country, and it's not even debatable.
Yep.
That the secondary has gotten that much better over the year, and that. So again,
Well, and
Sparty fans like, we beat you. That's great. What did it get you? 3rd place in the East.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, you don't want to play. They didn't want to play Michigan after that game because Michigan would have basically gone on East Lansing and put a freaking 50 burger on them.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they slept on State. I mean, that happens.
I think that was the best thing. I think that team basically losing to State says, holy crap, focus that team, came out there, and what they did since they beat State is they pretty much ran everybody on there. And when Ohio State came, Ohio State just happened to be the pinnacle of basically it's like, we're not losing to you guys anymore. We're done with that shit.
Well, and
at least for this year.
Yeah, I was about to say, the senior, we talked about it in our pregame here, the seniors' presence was definitely felt this year.
Yes.
All the experience and the energy that they brought to the locker room and to the team was palpable. You could see it all season long, and you can't deny it in these last 3 or 4 games that we've seen. So it is what it is. So, and like you said, since the State game, and like guys and State fans need to recognize that like that game was going to happen, whether it was you or Penn State or somebody. It was just, it fell on the schedule where it was you guys.
Right.
You got the win. Like there's very few teams that go undefeated anymore, because when you get to the top, now they're starting to realize you've got to play ranked teams to get in
you
there.
Can't play New Mexico State and Mercer in South Charleston anymore.
Right.
You've got to play
You've got to get some ranked opponents in there. So now you're seeing more one-loss teams than ever before. So when we were getting into this thing, we all kind of figured there was a one loss in here. I think most of us all thought it would be the Ohio State game. But, a one-loss Michigan team going to the Big Ten championship, you would take that.
I take that. I get a Big Ten championship. We get going to the playoffs under. Yeah, I'm taking that over the honor.
So,
and Spartan fans just don't understand. It's like, dude, you're not our main rival.
Yeah, exactly. I had this conversation with other guys like, I can't believe it. It's like Sparty played so much better than we did, and we don't.
Super Bowl.
We don't get up for the game, and I'm like, look, dude. I said Sparty always gets up for Michigan because that's their everything. They don't have anything else. They don't win regularly. They don't have a championship lineage or any of that stuff. They don't have an out-of-state rivalry, really. They just don't have anything. So the only thing they really have to hang their hat on is some goof that didn't make it in the NFL said something dumb and called them little brother. And that's all they've got to hang their hat on. They don't have anything. So that is everything that they got. Every little bit of energy goes into that stupid statement, and they ball out on this game for their championship. It's their Super Bowl. It's their national championship. It's their everything all in one is the Michigan game.
Right.
That very game for Michigan is Ohio State. Yeah. It's not Michigan State. It's like okay, you can have somebody that's your best friend and he's not, and you're not his best friend, okay? Like, I've known this guy for most of my life. He's my best friend, but this guy's known some other dude longer, and that's his best friend.
Right.
That is okay.
Right.
So,
it's all right.
So it's all right that the rivalries are different, but they are different.
Yes.
And that's the fact that Michigan doesn't look at Michigan State as a real rivalry when you compare it to Ohio State. Everything is, and since Harbaugh got here, what has he said? Ohio State Big Ten championship. Right. That's what he wants.
And he really embraced it this year. It's like, and he basically he took the whole thing with the clock and everything like State did. And he basically, all his players said, and he tells his players, he asked them every day, what have you done to beat Ohio State today?
Yep.
They basically says, we need to win this damn game. We're tired of that crap. And as bad as it's been for the last 20 years, we still have a winning record against Ohio State.
I know. That's great. We still have the most winningest record in NCAA
we have the
football.
most wins of all time college, and we have the highest winning percentage all time on that.
Yeah.
So again, as Sparty fits, great. It's great that your program's won on there, but your program basically for you guys on there started in 2008.
Right.
So you keep talking about the last 13 years. Dude, let's talk about the last 38 before that, when you went 29-9.
Right.
For nearly 40 years, you basically lost 3/4 of the games against Michigan.
All right.
So again, guess what? Everything comes around cycle-wise. Yeah. So we'll see what happens when Michigan says, you know what, we're tired of losing to you guys. We're going to kick the crap out of you. It may happen again.
Yep.
So don't be mouthing off on that, because again, we mouthed off too, and again, your former coach said pride cometh before the fall.
Yep.
Guess what?
Yep.
Payback's a motherfucker.
Yep. Well, it is one of those things too, where, we know because we've seen those mistakes made. So,
yes.
You can take it however you want. So, yeah, but that's just part of some of these different rivalries. Sometimes, I get the whole interstate rivalry, but in some cases, it's just not the top.
Yes. No, Ohio
thing.
State on there, and we won on it. Again, and people on there, well, again, guess what? We're 1-1 against Ryan Day as head coach. We didn't play him last year because of COVID. Of course, there are those that are trolling. It's like, it's been 700-something days since we lost Ohio State. Well, yeah, but not really. I mean, because if you would have played him last year, then probably would have put a 60-burger on you. So don't be gone that. Yeah. But again, I've had some fun with the Ohio. I mean, especially the Spartan fans on there this week, because they're all whining about Kenneth Walker III not getting invited to the Heisman. Dude, the Heisman's basically a popularity contest for the quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, for
it should just be the quarterback award,
because it's again. I agree.
That's what it's
Walker did deserve it on there, but don't be taking it on Hutchinson, because Hutchinson deserved to be there too, because what he did on the field and also the intangibles on it, the leadership he showed on the field, what he meant to that team is the reason why they're Big Ten champions.
And let's not get it twisted. It's the stage he does it on too, right?
It's the biggest stage on there is when he excelled the best.
Right.
And again, I keep telling everybody too, November games just matter more than a September games and even October games. Yeah, you beat us in October, the end of October, but it was still October.
Right.
Yeah, you had a great on there, but you know what? What did he do in November? Haskins outgained him in November in 4 games. By over 100 yards. He had double the touchdowns. He had 8 touchdowns versus 4. So, yeah, don't tell me Walker ran for 200 yards against you and 5 touchdowns. Well, Haskins ran for 170 and 5 touchdowns against Ohio State.
Right.
But you just poo-poo that because it doesn't fit your narrative.
Right.
And, again, the same thing, too, is, and, again, the idiots from Alabama, too. And I'm going to call them idiots because, you look at your brain matter. It's your gray matter is smooth. It is smooth. There's no ridges. There's no bumps. It's smooth like a baby's bottom on there. So that tells you. Yeah, Will Anderson's a great player and everything with it. But it matters too. Well, he had more sacks. 8 of those sacks came against New Mexico State, Mississippi State.
Yeah, right.
And so again, you had 8 sacks against garbage teams.
Right.
What did he do when it mattered most? Hutchinson had 3 sacks against Penn State and 3 sacks against Ohio State. Right. He had 15 quarterback pressures alone against Ohio State.
Yep.
Biggest stage, he showed up best.
Yep. I just think people don't understand how this award works.
And you make fun of Spartan fans made fun of us all those years. Well, look, Denard's the September Heisman, and look, he's got that. Like, and turnabout's the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, what did he do when it mattered most?
Well, and my take with that is like, yeah, Denard Robinson played well in September. Okay, I never ever thought of him as a Heisman candidate.
God no.
So what are you what are you even talking about? You're making an argument in your own mind that isn't real,
right?
And then you're just arguing with yourself about it.
Right.
It's the dumbest shit ever. You're inside your own head.
Right.
I don't even have to do anything.
Is we're back to living rent free in their heads again, and I think it's hysterical. And of course they say, "Well, no, we're in your head." I'm like, "No, dudes, I'm having fun with you, trolling you out."
Yeah, I mean,
you're not in my head. I'm just pointing it out, the hypocrisy of the whole situation there, and you bought into it, man. I hooked you in there,
yeah, oh yeah,
and I'm reeling you in, baby.
Well, it just proves the point you were trying to make anyway, and they're not smart enough to see it. It's
I loved it. I mean, there's times where.
But that's what happens.
I needed that to basically have some fun.
But that's the toxicity of Twitter, and it's like it's just that's why I'm not a huge Twitter fan, and we do have the Studio 57 Twitter account.
I'm like going, all right, this is just too much fun. And then when you point out all the stuff out there, they just don't, them and Bama fans just don't want to hear it.
No, they don't. Well, nobody does. No. I mean, like it's what it is. Those seem crazier because it feels like, and not to bring politics in it, but it feels like people in their politics, how they align with their political line. They don't even see the hypocrisy in what they're saying when they align themselves with certain political parties. Well, it doesn't matter which one. It doesn't matter
which one, because there's both sides under there are extremists with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like Oklahoma State had, again, when I'm going back to Oklahoma State, they had the game. Yeah. They blew it.
Yeah.
I mean, they came back under, and again, that last play is that running back screwed it up. He tried to stretch it out, dude. Plant the left foot, cut up field before you get too far out, and you got all the momentum. The other guy's going to either overrun, holy crap, he's going to lose all leverage, and you get the touchdown, you win. Mm-hmm. That's what happened. Mm-hmm. I mean, they screwed themselves. Mike Gundy basically screwed up again.
Yeah,
when it mattered.
But you know what? And all that does is it's like it makes a conspiracy easier now, right? Yes. Like now they don't have to hold them out and worry about other people barking up the tree because they weren't going to get in anyway.
No, they weren't getting on there. And the one thing too is, and again, with Cincinnati getting into it, well, Cincinnati's basically in 2024, they're going to be part of the Big 12. Yeah, they're part of that group.
Why do you think they wanted to showcase them? These are all things that they just fall right into my conspiracy theory, man. Let's just keep rolling. It's a scrappy conspiracy Wednesday here.
But yeah, it's funny that Brian Kelly, who's from like Massachusetts, has a southern drawl like.
Oh, dude, we'll get into that in a minute when we get back. That is funny. We're gonna take a break though. Here, we got to get into
DSR2 Studio 57 Radio. We'll be back because we got lots more to talk about as well. So we'll get back here on the flip side.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the world of entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. Listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air, and now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke in Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio 57 sent you and get 20% off. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about Allstate Tire. With winter fast approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 586-779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
What's happening, everybody? Scrappy here to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life Club is a social networking club that's located at 19960 James Cousins. That's a Lodge service drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You need to stop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chicken. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you're loving life, you need to be in the club.
We are taking over this broadcast for the Ultimate Underground.
Studio 57 Radio Original. You know, when you hear that sound, you're gonna have a good time, because that's the sound of the Ultimate Underground live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say, infamous venues in the D, and bring the underground music scene from the streets to your computer like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the Ultimate Underground is going to take over a broadcast. So you need to stay tuned to Studio 57 Radio all day, every day, for clues on when and where the next Ultimate Underground may happen. Now, there's no other station on the net that's going to give you this live webcast of some of the hottest artists in the D. That's the Ultimate Underground live on your home for hip-hop, rock and metal, Studio 57 Radio, baby.
Goodbye.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mackie, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules. That makes Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57records.com. That's www.studio57records.com, or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390, or log on to Studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering on great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Whew, man. I'm still trying to catch my breath from segment 1. I don't know about y'all. I didn't even get the text line out. That's how gangster I was. But you were in the feedbacks. I seen you guys laughing and being silly and da-da-da-da-da. I saw you Bama fans too. Don't be mad at us. You can be angry, but we still love you. I mean, sorta. If we get a chance to, I don't know, win it all, we'll love everybody. Trust me. We won't even care. Just like y'all don't care when you're winning. So let's just have some fun with it, man. Just enjoy the show for the entertainment that it is. And let's have a good time in segment 2 here, man. We got to wrap that thing up. We got lots of NFL to get into. We got a little NBA we might want to touch on. And, whatever you guys got. 313-307-5340. Text line is available to you guys. I've seen some of the regulars in there, too. Beer Can Dan, I haven't heard from you in a long time. Glad you checked in. Appreciate you. All right, guys, let's get into this thing. Without further ado, it's time for hour 2 of DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is Johnny the Buzz.
Hey, we're back here for another edition of DSR2, the second hour on there, in case you missed it. We were kind of like all over the board here a little bit.
ADD Radio.
ADD Radio about college football, the whole new programming there. Also, the big contract that's going to be coming up in 2 years, everything with it. Again, our little conspiracy theory is this, the powers may be set this all up and everything on there. Of course, we got NFL action to talk about as well on there, and of course, basketball and hockey. And of course, I am trolling even as we take the break with Twitter people.
That's awesome. So yes, we multitask here. We not only do the show, but we troll while we're at it. It's funny because we kind of troll with the fucking microphones, to be quite honest. Let's be real about it. If you guys are new to the show and you are taking this stuff way too seriously, like get a bourbon, get a nice cigar, rub one out, and come back when you're not so fucking serious.
That's right, because it's
You know
just
what I'm
again, it's sports, guys. You gotta have some fun with sports.
We are an entertainment-based product, okay? Let's be real about this. As much as we're serious and we love our sports and we're having serious conversations and we get into stuff and we get heated and whatever, it's for entertainment. Like, the only reason the Cats are on the radio is, I mean, if I sat here and went, yeah, so Michigan won the game handily against. I mean, you don't want to hear that shit.
No, you're not going to listen to us.
You want to hear me be a dumbass. Like, you want to hear Moose with his extensive, like, dropping, crazy stuff. You're like, what? How do you have that in your cranium? And that's what we bring, that combination of flavor, of goofiness and knowledge that makes our flavor. And, like, that's what this is.
We know sports and everything with it, but you know what? We don't take ourselves serious. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
So, on there. And again, it was the whole issue about Kenneth Walker on there. And, of course, I'm like, well, looking at it, well, he was sick. He was injured. Well, was he sick or injured? Or, and of course, she goes, he was sick all day. How come we didn't hear about this for till a month later on? You know what? I'm going to come over to the point and say bullshit. Bullshit.
Well, we have this conversation, right, Moose? Like, as much as we would like to say, oh, we if you don't call your shot ahead of time, shut up. Like, we want to do it. We'll say it and be like, we want to do it here. It's like, man, I really wish I would have said what I wanted to say on the air, and I didn't. And now I don't have that. I don't have it. I can't. So it's the same thing. If you didn't come in saying and knowing, and that wasn't, then just be quiet. Just own it. And to be honest with you, to be completely honest with you, even if you're sick, even if all that's just a situation, I don't know anybody where that's a legit, where they would even want to say that.
Michael Jordan had the flu and goes off in a game 6.
Well, right. But he doesn't come out and then say, "Oh, I've got the flu" or whatever. It kind of rumbles and goes, and then he confirms that because he was feeling good. What's wrong? Was he partying? And he's like, "No, I got the flu." Like, that's what it was.
But we all know
what happened. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
but it was the flu game on there that they call it on there because again, he was not feeling well. He was under the weather. Whether it was the flu or maybe it was a whole night sitting at the casino.
Right. But that's my point. Like, you can't, it doesn't work that way. Like, you can tell, like, stop.
You can't call it out a month later.
No.
Because again, I didn't hear anything about flu and injury till this past week.
Right. And it's one of those things where you just kind of keep it quiet. And maybe that's why it didn't come out. Maybe it was one of those things where he says, man, he said to somebody in his circle, man, I couldn't get it together. I wasn't feeling good and I couldn't shake it. And I thought I'd be okay. And I hurt our team and it sucks and I'm upset about it. And I don't want to talk about it. And everybody kept their mouth shut, but for only a few weeks. Right. And it comes out and now he's got to address it. That very well could be real. And to me, so I did a show. I used to, if you guys don't know, I was a rapper for a lot of years, for 15 years, and I got to tour and do a lot of fun stuff here locally and regionally, and especially here in Detroit, I basically could do any venue I wanted. And so we had a big holiday show. It was Christmas Chaos, and we did every venue, all the big venues in Detroit that weren't arenas, because we weren't like that. We're not drawing them kind of people, but we did a 3-day event. We did Clutch Cargo's Emerald Theater in the famous, maybe infamous even, St. Andrews Hall. And I did every single show. And because I love those shows, they're so fun. So we have, at the time I had a huge fan base in Germany, of all places, just huge fan base in Germany. And I'd see kids, and back in those days, it was MySpace, and you could decorate your MySpace and do whatever you want with it. And I'd go to all these kids that were in this, like, they all, like, knew each other, and they were all from that region. And I'm clicking on all of them, looking at their friends, and they all got, like, me everywhere. It's the creepiest shit you ever saw. And I'm like, wow, this is nuts. And then they reached out to me, a group of them, just a young group. They reached out because they have family in Sterling Heights, Michigan. And they're coming in for the holidays. So they came to the St. Andrews Hall show for the Christmas Chaos. I walked in the door with 105 temperature. I wasn't fucking missing that show for nothing.
No, because you had these cats come over from overseas.
They came over from, continents away. Okay? And I performed, and I hung out, and I did my shit. And nobody ever knew about it. This is the first time I've even said it publicly. ever. This was MySpace. This is 12 years, 15 years ago.
Right.
15, 16 years ago. And I've never said it publicly or whatever because it wasn't my best performance. I had a great time. The show was off the hook. Everybody had fun. The meet and greet after was great. There wasn't an outbreak of the flu. I didn't get anybody sick. I was smart. I've always been smart about that stuff. That's why this COVID thing doesn't blow me out of the water like it does a lot of people, and as far as inconvenience factor. So I for me, it's one of those things that someone else brings that out. If you come out, even if it's true, and make an excuse, that's all it is.
Right.
You may feel that it's a reason, and it may be a reason, but publicly it becomes an excuse. So you don't say that stuff. So if I had come out and killed it like Jordan, then that comes out. Right?
Right.
I killed it and I wasn't even feeling good. How you like that? Then maybe that comes out because your arrogance or whatever.
Yeah.
But you'll never go out there with the quite opposite take and say, I don't like that take. I just don't feel that that's right. So just shut up with that shit. That's sour grapes. That's excuse making, and nobody wants to hear it. It's a bad look. You're better off just eating the bad game.
Right. I had a bad game.
I had a bad game, whatever. And if you want to say somewhere down the road in an interview, and this game is that infamously bad, and you have to address it, well, I don't want to talk about it, but I wasn't feeling well, and I had a bad game. I played terrible. And you end it there.
Right.
To me,
but I don't think I've even heard him say it, or even the coaches. This is all these fan base on there. They're going,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm call bullshit.
That's what exactly. That's my point.
I don't believe it.
That's my point. That's my entire point. Is that these guys just don't do that.
No.
So don't sit here and tell me
they're not going to come out there and say it.
Yeah.
So again, on there until we hear it on it. But don't be making excuses for somebody.
Bam.
You had a bad game, dude.
Yep.
And again, by the time he.
And it's just a bad look. You're not doing him any favors.
Right, because again, by the minute into the second quarter, it's already 28-0. Dude, you're not coming back against Ohio State on that. You're lucky Ryan Day called off the Dogs when it was 56-0.
Yeah, I just.
But so yeah, we got NFL on there. Tom Brady and
I just okay.
And
it just continues, okay? And you can use that line for anything you're about to say in the NFL. It just continues. Whether it's Brady and Gronk, whether it's fucking it's Brown acting the fool, whether it's the chaos and who the hell's gonna win and who's not. Like it just continues. We could use that line for just about every single topic that we've got on the NFL slate right now.
Yeah. Because, I mean.
It's just been crazy.
It's like Brady and Gronk, 90 touchdowns he's thrown to Gronk.
Yeah. Well, that's because they're butt buddies. They follow each other
Oh,
everywhere.
yeah.
It's not like how many tandems spend that much time together, and including being on two different teams, let alone as much time on one single team.
Right.
But then they follow each other.
I'm leaving on there, and Gronk retires. I was like, hey, dude, I need you here. All right. Okay.
Oh, Jesus. You
Gronk,
bring
you know what Gronk is? He's the human version of a Labrador Retriever.
Well, dude, Brady says, I'll bring pizza and beer, and Gronk shows up. I mean, it's just that simple.
Just like a Labrador Retriever.
Yeah. It's like your buddy. It's like, I need to move out of my one-bedroom apartment. I get beer and pizza, and everybody comes. That's what you do with Gronk. You just give him beer and pizza, and he catches football. I'll catch touchdowns for beers and pizza. That's all he does. He just catches touchdowns for beers and pizza.
You just gotta love that naivety of the guy. I mean, he's like out there.
I feel like he forgot that he's not in a fraternity anymore.
Yes.
He just feels like he's still a frat boy.
Yes.
He's Van Wilder of the NFL. I don't even know
Who
what
do
else
I want to
say.
come back and as my when I'm reincarnated, I want to come back as like the new version of Gronk.
Yes, like it's one of those things where it's kind of like coming back as like you said, you're Labrador. Like I'd love to come back as Gronk. Like I just get patted on the butt all the time, and I get treats all the time, and everybody loves me no matter how goofy I am. I mean, it's like coming back as a
That's what's
lab.
great about it. I mean, that's what's great about it. He's just this big goofy doofus.
Yes,
but you know what? That's who he is.
Oh,
he's not basically, it's an act. No, it's not.
yeah, no, he's
He's honest about it.
He's a very genuine guy. There's no doubt about that. And I do appreciate him for that, if nothing else. Though, like, I could see where people be like, Gronk, can we just be not Gronk for today? Can we just not be Gronk today? Can we be something else? We just tone it down. It's Christmas. Can we please?
Yeah.
Do you have to be slamming people through the dining room buffet table setup
At his mom's house.
Yes.
His mom and dad's house.
Right. Do you really? Did you really have to? Suplex your brother through the table? Like, did we really?
Because he's living at the pool house at the
Right.
parents' spread
He lives in the loft of the basement. Or I mean, of the garage.
above the garage.
Yeah.
Or they got a pool house there in Cabana. He just lives there.
He just lives there. He makes millions of dollars, but he just
He
lives
doesn't
in
want to spend any
Yeah,
money.
he just lives in there.
That's the thing
He
is-
drives a golf cart everywhere. It's
I know,
totally
yeah.
pimped out.
Okay, you don't have to worry about him having a yacht repossessed in Milwaukee because he's like, I don't want it. I just give me this
I don't
golf
care,
cart.
yeah. Oh my god, that's amazing.
So
We have this totally crazy narrative of what Gronk's life is, and it's so wrong, but whatever. We're
It's
having fun
true.
with it. Every bit of it is true. I've seen it with my own eyes. No.
Yes. So we got that. So yeah, this is we're getting a weird week with on there. Again, we went chalk across the board, and there was some upsets and everything with it. Just the crazy ones on there. The Bengals and the Chargers. I mean, you don't know which team shows up week to week.
With either team, it feels
Either
like
team won. I mean, the week before the Bengals look world beaters, and this one like crap. They fell behind. Are we getting on here? But it's like, I mean, Chargers look like crap. All of a sudden they go look at it and go, holy crap, man! They're kicking the crap out of the Bengals. All of a sudden, whatever. I mean, it's just the weirdest year.
Yeah.
The Bears are garbage. I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty standard. The Bears, the Lions, just horse crap. That's why this division is probably the worst in football. And on the flip side, now all of a sudden the Washington football team's doing something.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what this league does to you.
Yeah. I mean, we know, again, it's Riverboat Ron, basically.
Dude, when he was getting ready to go on fourth down, I'm like, what? Don't you run a play? You son of a bitch, don't you run a play? And I thought they were going to run a play, and they didn't. They ended up calling timeout. I don't know. It felt like they were confused, and they were going to run a play. Did they call timeout, or was it a delay a game? I can't remember.
I think it was a delay of game.
Yeah, and then they ended up kicking. And
Right.
it's like, they ended up kicking the 47-yard field goal.
Right.
And it's like, dude, you just saved yourself from yourself.
Right.
Because all you needed was that field goal. You didn't need to get the touchdown. So I love the Riverboat Ron thing, but I can see where it drives people crazy. But you got to take the good with the bad. And that might not have been a great choice, but in the end it worked out, and
Yeah.
they've been winning. And I'll take that guy. Like, that coach, he feels like a guy that, I would run through the proverbial brick wall for.
Right.
He
And
just
his
feels
players
like that
love
guy.
him, and they'll do
Right.
anything for him.
Because he kind of
But you
believes
can't
in
help not like the guy, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really, again, as we say, genuine. On there, it appears that way. We got that one. And again, of course, we got Mike Zimmer. Dude, going for the 2-point, Dude, just if you would have kicked,
the extra point.
Extra points.
You wouldn't have this problem.
you don't have to worry about it. Even if they score the touchdown, you're going to win. You
Yeah.
win by one. Or you go to overtime,
Yeah.
and you win it there.
Yep. So dumb. It's just so dumb. Yeah, that guy sealed his fate. It's just a matter of getting through this season, because I don't think they want to do the interim coach thing. So
They're just going to wait till the season, and he's gone
he's
and everything
gone.
with it
Yeah.
on there. But yeah, I mean, and as we said, the Lions under. I mean, Dan Campbell is over his head and everything. And again, I'm not arguing about when he went for it 4th and 1, and they're deep in their territory, dude. They needed to do something. If he gets the first down, they eat the clock out, and that's it. But no,
Right.
he does this stupid pass play, dude. Just give the ball, get a fullback in there, play up under center, hand the ball off to a fullback or even the halfback, and they have found the fullback, and you're getting it on there. But just on there with it. You got bailed out Mike Zimmer on that whatever defense you were calling because it's nothing I've ever seen before.
I know. It was like
put pressure on him all day. Goff has no time and he can't throw it, and also you give him time and he just like bump.
Yeah. Well, we have.
But that's any quarterback. You give them time, they're going to basically pick you apart.
We have that conversation here all the time. That's exactly what it is. If you give any quarterback in the league and if you give any quarterback even in college, time to throw without pressure, they'll be fine. They'll they'll do fine. So that's the whole thing. You have to absolutely get some kind of pressure.
I mean, the plus side is with the least alliances is Derek Barnes got to play a lot more with Reese Maben being hurt in that. Dude's a thumper. You can see it's like, all right. You can see that some aspect, but again, Campbell is way over his head with it on there.
Oh yeah,
I know the players love him so far, and again, if they lose that game, I think the whole thing falls apart and everything. At least it's for another week because I think they know they're not going to win another game the rest of the year, and we just go from there with it.
Well, once again, the emotional uplift.
And again, kudos to the Vikings for basically wearing the Oxford T-shirts and that for warm-ups and everything with it, and on there. And again, it's. Sometimes there are just extenuating circumstances and everything comes to planets align and everything with it. Because again, what here in at least in our area, what we've been through in the last week.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things too, Moose, where like you don't want to downplay anybody's, hardships, but like everybody's been dealing with the last couple of years with a lot of crazy stuff. And then, so when you, just from an individual standpoint, right? So then when you combine that as the community, it's, and then you start having community tragedies, whether it be natural disasters or like what we had here with the shooting or whatever. And it's just, with these last couple of years, it's just that much harder to handle, right? When something like this happens in a community, it's tough. But when you've already been dealing with a pandemic on top of it for so long, and you're already don't know how you made it this far, you're already mentally spent, and you don't know how you got this far already, and then you put something like this out there. I mean, it can really break people, and especially people that are directly involved or affected, and so we're only indirectly, and so it's tough to deal with. So to see something of positivity, anything that's great. I think that's the one thing that the Lions and Michigan and our sports teams kind of took that and used it in a positive way. That that energy that comes from it, that was really just when you have this going on. We talked about it, was right. Like, you give off a certain energy when you're stressed out. When you have a certain thing, you give off a certain energy, and other people pick up on it, and it changes their energy. And so that's kind of what happens here. They use that energy though in a positive way, and was able to do something cool with it. And we'll take it when we can get it. But we're here to talk about like the games and what we see, and I see that. And I have yet to see anything to tell me that they're any different than what we've seen prior to this game.
No. This
game is an outlier, and that's how I'm going to look at it.
Yes.
So moving forward, guys, the head coaching situation in Detroit has been this way for as long as I've been alive. Guess what, guys? It will never, ever change. Until ownership is out of here, it will never ever change. Until the family does not own this team anymore, it will never ever change, because there isn't not a single qualified top tier coach that will ever come here, no matter how much money you give them.
I mean, again,
they'll never come here.
No, we had. I mean, back in before you, back in the 70s, we actually had a Super Bowl winning coach was going to come here, Don McCaffrey. Son of a bitch dies before the season.
Right. Yes.
You talk about snake bit. I mean, some of that aspect is like you get a coach that wins a Super Bowl, leaves but gets fired from Baltimore. We get him, and like okay, and he dies.
Well,
and then we're stuck with Chuck Fergamo. I mean, it was just like Jesus. I mean, it was with that honor with it. I mean, I've seen some. Monty Clark, I thought was okay on there, but they haven't had, again, they've been terrible with their coaches and that with it. And again, our best coach, or at least our winningest coach, is also our losingest coach for losses and wins and losses. And that's Wayne Fontes.
Right.
And again, if you took just a decent coach, I don't think he was a good coach. You just take an average coach on that with that team under that talent, they at least get to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because that team had some damn talent. That 91 team was really freaking good. And again, we got snake bit again because, again, Utley gets hurt. Anelsick dies in the offseason by mowing his lawn, gets hit by a semi. It's like, son of a bitch. But you still had Barry Sanders. You still had Herman Moore. You had Lomas Brown and Kevin Glover and Mike Kofer and Spielman, Benny Blades. This was a damn good team.
Yep.
And because we had Wayne Fontes as our coach.
Yep. Well, and like I said, you brought in Mariucci, and he had had success, but those guys quickly cracked. They know what it is here, and you haven't been able to get anybody's sense, and that's what will happen, right? Like you'll start looking like maybe you're assembling a roster. There's something there, and you'll go to bring in a coach, and they're just the way it's done here, it's just never going to change. So, it's just water is wet, man. I don't know what to say.
We're going to say on there. So on it with it, but again, they won. Again, at least we're not going to be going winless.
No, you're not going to go winless.
We're still terrible, and we knew we were going to be terrible.
Yeah,
but at least we're not winless.
Well, we're just underachieving this year. That's all. We should be totally winless. Yeah. But we're not. We're underachieving. We got a stupid tie, and we won the game we probably shouldn't have won.
Right.
We really did. We won a game we had no business winning.
No.
But that happens. That's what this NFL does. It's crazy.
It's crazy on that.
With all that craziness, Moose, we're already in your fantasy moment.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know what to say. We got only so much time here, and we got to get to some shit. So I think we need to get that in.
All right, so we got come on.
So, but yeah, it's been a whirlwind in the NFL, and if you guys are losing your ass on the sports bet gimmick, you know why they've taken over every station on the radio, and why they have giant casinos, and why they spend millions of dollars in advertising, because they're getting you. They're getting you. It's tough. It is tough as nails to get these games right, man. It's just especially this year. So we've got injuries everywhere. Thielen's out.
Cook is iffy.
So you're going to be, as Moose tries to get things rolling here, you're going to be.
There we go. Damn.
You're going to be looking for some cats.
Because this is almost every league out there. This is either your first week of the playoffs or your last week of the regular season.
Right.
So you need, basically, if you're battling it out, and you need somebody to pick up on there, especially with running back wise. There's too many cats out there, especially if you got New England running backs. They've got the bye this week, so you go, crap, Miami's got a bye this week. You go, holy shit, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to help you out here because I got to win on here, and I need all the planets to align just right to win this, to get into the playoffs. I don't think it's going to happen this year because, again, injury bug killed me this year, worse than any other year out there. So, and again, if you need a quarterback-wise on there, he's terrible quarterback-wise, but he's going to run for some yardage, and he may even run for a touchdown. Taysom Hill's a matchup. Why? Because they're facing the Jets.
Yeah, Taysom Hill's terrible.
He is terrible.
That's another conversation, though.
Big Ben had a great week on there against Baltimore on there. Probably the best he's looking. Again, he's going to have another nice week on there because they got Minnesota on there. I think both linebackers are still hurt for Minnesota on there, so they're not going to be able to get any pass rush and everything with it. So I like Big Ben. I like Tyler Hanke this week against Dallas. Dallas is not still – this team's ready to basically – I wait for Dallas to just do their Dallas thing, so – on that. And of course, running back wise is you're going to need some running backs on there. Again, I think Deontay Foreman with Tennessee on there, definitely a pickup on there as well. Probably is Samarj Perrine on there. We'll see if Mixon looks like he's going to be a little banged up, but he should play and everything with it. Also is Kenneth Gainwell with Philly on there as well on there. Wide receivers, I think you're going to have a little bit more options-wise on there. Julio's back off the IR. Definitely look at him. Russell Gage with Atlanta because they're facing Carolina. With Thielen out, KJ Osborne is definitely a must. Probably my number one pickup of the week for wide receiver-wise. And I definitely like that on there. And believe it or not, I'm going to actually say a line. Oh, no, I'm not going to say it because they're playing Denver and it looks bad. Donovan People-Jones on there for Cleveland on there. Looks like he's healthy now this week on there. They're coming off the bye on that. Secondary is just not very good. They've lost Marlon Humphreys for the year on there, so definitely look at that on there. And tight end-wise is Tyler Conklin is probably your number one pick for tight end for Minnesota. And I would say is Logan, I would say Gerald Everett.
Right.
Would say Logan Thomas, but he's out with a knee injury. Shocker, but at least it's not an ACL. And again, if you need a tight end or a kicker or a defense, don't even talk to me. Figure it out.
There it is.
There we go.
All right. So I don't know what to say. I don't think that we have a whole lot of insight on any of these flipping teams anymore. So it is what it is. We're going to get these picks in, and hopefully we don't crap the bed. So,
yeah.
Here we go.
Well, again, this week on there is with the pick'ems on there is a lot of the dogs are all road dogs.
Oh, yeah.
So this might be one to go on there, but there are a couple dogs in there. I actually do like this week on there, so we'll go into that. On there. So first game, we got a game tomorrow night on there. We got Pittsburgh is on the road, Minneapolis to face the Vikings. Vikings definitely have no Adam Thielen. I think no Adam Barr. Also is Dalvin Cook is iffy, so I like Pittsburgh.
I'm with you, but I'm telling you, any other team, and I'm not.
No,
you know,
it's just Minnesota on there. So on that, so I like that one on there. All right, so we got a Sunday game at 1:00. We got Baltimore is on the road. They're going to Cleveland. They're 2.5-point dog on the road. Cleveland's coming off the bye. Everybody looks healthy. I mean, you're going to have both Chubb and Hunt healthy on there. People-Jones is going to be healthy. Baker's not healthy, but the secondary for Baltimore is banged up and. Baltimore should have won that game last week.
I know, right?
On that one. You know what? Screw this. I'm taking Baltimore. I'm taking another dog. Screw it.
Baltimore and who? What am I?
Cleveland.
Cleveland. How's Cleveland not?
They're a 2.5-point favorite.
Really? That's why I said when you said dog, I was like, wait a minute.
I'm taking Baltimore.
Yeah, I don't have any faith that Cleveland's got it together yet. Are you kidding me?
No.
Huh.
But here's a dog I'm not going to take. Next game is 1:00 on there. Jacksonville goes up the road to play Tennessee. The Titans are a 9.5-point favorite on this one. There's no way in God's green earth Tennessee's going to lose to Jacksonville.
Oh, God, I hope not. I'm not going to say no way because I've seen weirder stuff out of that team this year as far as Tennessee losing games they shouldn't.
Yes.
But
this ain't one.
This shouldn't be one. It better not be one of them.
Tennessee's also, I think, coming off the bye.
Yeah, so.
All right, we got another one on there. I don't know if I'll take on there, too. We got Vegas is at 1:00 is going to Kansas City to face the Chiefs.
Shit.
Vegas, a 9.5-point dog. KC, the last time they played Vegas, at Vegas, Mahomes found out he was Mahomes again on there. So give me KC.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Vegas is a hot mess. So, yeah, I'll take KC all day and twice on
All right, here's a game that nobody needs to watch. I know we got New Orleans on the road. They're a favorite against the New York Jets.
Oh, my God.
That's a 6.5-point favorite for New Orleans.
I mean, I guess New Orleans is so bad right now because, their quarterback situation is a dumpster fire. But yeah, the Jets' whole damn team's a dumpster fire.
Yes.
So what can I say?
On there. So we got that on there. All right, Dallas is on the road. Also 1:00 game. They're 4.5-point. No, Dallas is a favorite. They're on the road. 4.5-point favorite against the Washington football team on there. Washington's basically won 5 in a row.
Yeah, this is an up and down situation here.
Dallas won last week, so maybe
Yeah, so did Washington. So, to me, I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be probably
I would take
fun.
Washington in the points, but if you're going to say who's going to win, I still think Dallas is going to win.
Yeah, I still think Dallas has got that. I think it'll be a closer game than, and I think it'll be pretty good. They seem to always play each other well, so we'll see how that goes. But
all right, we got Atlanta on the road on there. Atlanta is a 2.5-point dog against Carolina. Ugh. Carolina's got a new they have no offensive coordinator because they fired Joe Barry. They're blaming him for all their woes. Dude, you know what to blame for your woes? Your general manager, because you got no quarterback.
Yeah.
You traded for Sam Darnold, who is Sam Darnold, and you bring back the corpse of Cam Newton.
All right.
I think Atlanta wins this one.
Yeah, I've seen more out of Atlanta this year than I've seen out of Carolina. I mean, I don't know what else to go by.
Arthur Smith's done a nice, actually, considering Atlanta should have been an absolute dumpster fire, and they're skirting around 500.
Yeah.
I think he's done a pretty good job on there. All right, so Seattle's been looking like garbage on there for the last couple of weeks on there. I know they beat Frisco last week on there, but they still not look good. Don't worry, they're playing Houston. They're going to Houston.
Yes.
They're a 7.5-point favorite. Yes.
Sure.
Houston, even though they don't have the worst record in the league, they are the worst team in the league.
Yeah, they feel like the most
They
dysfunctional.
just released their linebacker, Zach Cunningham, who led the league, was that 2 years ago in tackles, and they just signed him to a $58 million extension. They just cut him. I think so he can find a team to win on this one.
Yeah,
Give me
right.
Seattle.
Yep.
Already got the first of the 4 o'clock games. Our own Detroit Lions are going out to Denver. They're an 8.5-point dog. Yeah, they should
Pretty
be.
much, yeah.
Give me Denver and that defense.
Yeah, the adrenaline dump from this week is, that's it. It's everything they could muster.
All right, your New York Football Giants are basically is you got your coach dead man walking, your general manager's dead man walking, your quarterback's dead man walking, and you're facing the Chargers in LA, and you're a 9.5-point dog. Yes.
Yes.
Give me Chargers.
Absolutely.
Who to start for the Chargers? Everybody.
It's funny you say that because the Chargers haven't been overly consistent this year either.
Yes,
but
they've been inconsistent as hell.
But it is what it is, yeah.
All right, actually, here's a 4:25 game. This actually might be a pretty good game to watch on there. We got San Francisco is actually on the road. Cincinnati's got a 4:25 start on there. Bengals are a 0.5-point favorite against the Niners.
Really?
Yes.
I kind of like the Niners in this situation.
I do.
But it's hard to say.
You go Cincinnati's they're like
they're all,
Jekyll and Hyde on this one.
right.
I'm gonna have to say is you know what, Cincinnati. I mean the Niners' pass defense is not good on there. I think Cincy writes it, and I think they win this one.
Okay, I'll go opposite just because I'm on the border there, and we'll do something a little different here. I'll take the Niners in this game. I think their defense will rise to the occasion. So
all right, here's a game on there. Again, we thought it would probably be game of the week on there, but I don't know right now with the way they're playing. Buffalo is on the road. They're going down to Tampa Bay, and they're a 3.5-point favorite on that one. Again, Tampa Bay at home is a lot better than Tampa Bay on the road on this one. And Buffalo, I think that game on Monday night basically broke their freaking heart. They stole their souls.
Buffalo has been underachieving like crazy, and if they're doing that and then go to the GOAT's house, forget it.
All right, how's this game on Sunday night? I can't believe they didn't sub this one out.
They can't flex it out because they had to do it 2 weeks ago, and no one wanted to give up the game. They can't just walk in and take it like they used to. There's your answer.
There we go.
But go ahead.
But yeah, here's a game I'm not going to watch. I'll find something else on Netflix or something. Chicago is on the road to Green Bay. They're a 12.5-point favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what it is, it's the Aaron Rodgers. They'll take that over. There wasn't too many options to flex in. You had to do it 10 days before the game. You had to put in that there was going to be an option. You can't just walk in and take it out like that. And so NBC can pick kind of poach games, but there's an order to it. I think when they looked at what was available and what games were going to be given up.
Yeah, Fox wasn't giving up Buffalo and Tampa.
Nope.
With that.
So you have those issues. So that's why you ended up like that.
Yes. And again, on with it. So we got actually Monday night's got a pretty good game. We got the Rams are on the road against the Arizona Cardinals.
That'd be a good.
Cardinals are a 2.5-point favorite on this.
Yeah.
one.
See, if we were getting the Rams, with the healthy, happy Stafford, I think we'd be more.
Robert Woods, if he didn't get hurt, he got hurt, and
I just think that war of attrition is just a playing with them right now, and I'm going to take Arizona in this.
I am too.
But I'd like to see the Rams kind of get back to form, but Stafford being hurt and beat and having a couple of guys out. Besides that, it just
and everybody's back for Arizona, I think, this week.
Yeah.
So give me the Cardinals on there with it, and there we go. There's our pick'ems. Take the opposite of whatever we said because we've been terrible.
We have been. It's been a brutal year with this Moose. I know we have the nature of this thing kind of all the time, but man, Moose, it's been pretty rough this year as far as trying to predict. I would, if I did the survival pool this year, I'd be gone and quickly. Yeah. I mean, it's hard. Teams you think you could rely on, with some consistency, just not so much. So, hoo-ha, hey. So, what else we got in the world of sports? Of course, your boy with the accent. What the hell happened there? Like, okay, I get it. You can pick up an accent, right? And I used to tease my ex-brother-in-law because he would go down south to Tennessee for the summer, and he'd come back with an accent. And I'm like, dude, you're down there for 90 days. Like, that's not even a prison sentence. Like, you weren't down there very long. Like, I can get more time than that for suspended license tickets, man. What are you talking about? Like, how did you get that? And then to have a very distinct Bostonian accent, and just hours later, I mean, literally hours later.
Yeah, the moment he got off the plane.
He was on Dan Patrick that day, and that Boston accent was on display. And then just hours later, all of a sudden, he'd be talking like this, y'all. Nah. That was the silliest shit I've ever seen. I mean, dude, if that is how his tenure's going to start,
it's going to be a dumpster fire.
I can only imagine.
Here's the kicker, too.
What kind of
his starting quarterback basically is now in the transfer portal. So he doesn't have a quarter. He goes that on. So he's like, oh, hell no. I'm out of here on that. With it. And again, I know, he's getting paid on there, and it's boatloads of money, and it's ridiculous money on there. And I don't blame Brian Kelly for that because he's going to be 60 years old. Hey, this is my retirement, man.
Yeah, yep.
Oh, with it.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame just doesn't pay their coaches because they're cheap as
Yeah, I mean, they do, but they don't. No, you're right.
Yeah, on there. They basically promoted their defensive coordinator. Again, I think Notre Dame's going to be in trouble. I think Clemson's going to be in serious trouble.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people saying that kind of
Venables gone.
Yeah,
he's not at Oklahoma.
Yep.
They lost the offensive coordinator. I think he's taking the on there. So they've lost both coordinators on there in a down year. If you thought you would have lost Venables, it would have been after when they won the championship 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Right.
With it. So,
I don't know.
I mean, Oklahoma. I mean, again, it's going to be crazy under because you could. Was it one of the quarterbacks that was committed to Oklahoma immediately decommitted to Oklahoma the moment Lincoln Riley left? We all know where he's going.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's what you're going to have. I mean, these guys. Well, is that not the majority of the reason why you go to the university if you are an athlete? That's
for that coach.
Yeah, I mean.
And if I'm a high-profile quarterback and I'm a 4 or 5-star quarterback and I'm going to Oklahoma,
right.
I'm going there for one reason only. Lincoln Riley's going to get me to the NFL.
Right.
Because he's gotten 3 of them.
Yep. And so I just think that weighs into what they're doing, just more than I guess people give it credit for. Now, if you're, a less significantly, rated player and you kind of go there and the coach leaves and you're like, well, my scheme's not going to change much, and I'm not, highly touted or whatever the case may be, sought after, then those guys might stay. But I mean, you're going to have a lot of guys that are going to leave because they committed to that coach. The university didn't walk into your living room, that coach did.
Right.
And so, the university didn't come in and promise you and your parents all this stuff.
Yeah.
He did.
Right.
So, and if that guy did and he's not going to be there, then what does it say that I have a future here?
Right.
Because the next guy might be like, well, I don't want you here. I didn't
recruit
recruit you.
We're not going to run that type of offense.
Right.
We're going to do this.
We're going to do something completely different. And then you can waste years of eligibility and be in shitty situations and just not be happy or successful. And so, that's why the portal has to be there, because these coaches have been able to do this since the dawn of time and no one has anything to say about it.
Right.
But now a player wants to move and it's an issue. And it's like, no. If coaches can move like that when you're committing to a player and a player is committing to that university, and they can because of that coach, and then they leave or whatever.
Yeah, and
they shouldn't be punished.
And with the whole coaches, basically, coaches usually like they didn't leave till after bowl games or whatever most of the time. With it, now they have that early signing period for these kids on there that are basically already enough they can graduate high school early and early enrollment.
Right.
Now these coaches are like, I'm not even waiting for the bowl game. I'm out of here. I'm going to get started in recruiting my class already.
Well, sure. And if you're a senior and you're going to be a top draft pick, are you even playing in the bowl game?
No.
I mean,
because we know Pickett's probably not going to play for Pitt.
Right. So, I mean, unless you're in
what has he got to play for on there? He's a top 4, Heisman finalist on there. He's going to be a first-round draft pick. Dude, I'm not playing in some... Again, I know it's the Peach Bowl, whatever, but it's the Peach Bowl.
Yeah, I don't want to get hurt over a bowl.
I'm not playing for a natty. No, I'm not playing.
That's the only exception. And that's why the expansion will help, too.
Yeah, it'll help on there with a lot of these. So when they go to 12 teams, it's going to help them out. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting with the on there with who leaves early or whatever, and we'll hear that on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, does, again... I know Kenneth Walker has another year of eligibility, but dude, he's probably going to be a first or second round draft pick. Is he going to play?
Right. Yep. And so it's going to be interesting watching your college team now between the portal and just cats going to the league. It's going to be a different look. So, but I don't know, whatever. I'm all, we say it here all the time, entertain me. I just want to be entertained. So. As long as we get an entertaining product, I'm going to be cool with it. And I think you have a better chance of having that with the expansion. So let's have the playoff expansion. You're already doing name and likeness, so these guys aren't getting done dirty like you've been doing for everybody since whenever. And yeah, it is what it is. So, but anyway, all right, guys. We're getting close and close to the holiday season. So guys, be good, be patient, be understanding of the stress that everybody's going through as you're going out there and wreaking chaos in the world of retail. Even if you're doing most of your shopping online, I'm sure a lot of you guys are getting out there and getting stuff and doing things. So be good, be safe, do all that. But when you start thinking about all these like things, we talked about the tragedy here and locally, we just got to do a better job of like the simple things, Moose. Like, when you're walking out of a joint, hold the door for a cat that's coming in behind you. Use your fucking blinker. Don't be a dick when someone says hello. Return that hello. Just start with those little things.
Because kindness doesn't cost you anything.
It doesn't cost you a dime. And you'll find that when you do that, like other good things will kind of happen around you. And then you can take that and you can spread it to other people. And in saying all that, enjoy your people. This is the holiday season. And we can't keep having tragedies like this and be sane. So like, the sanity is going to be in your loved ones. So just be there for each other, spend that time and get there, because you know, we talk about it, tomorrow's never promised, Moose.
No.
And it's never been more on display here than in recent times, and really worldwide in the last couple of years. So guys, we say it all the time, you can't, you know, be good, or at least be as good as you can, but damn it, be good to each other. I love you guys. We'll see
Peace out,
ya.
brothers. We'll be back soon.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.